Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, Memorial Day. Let's do this shit.
Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. Hey, man.
What?
You potty mouth.
It's me. I'm me. You get what you get. I've told you I'm not a professional.
Clearly. Hey, kids, how are you? Happy Memorial Day. Although when you hear this, not happy. No. That's right.
Don't go there.
Respectful Memorial Day, everybody. Even though it'll actually be a couple days after Memorial Day when this goes out.
Yeah, but
You know what? I might put it out anyway. As soon as it's ready, just stick it out there.
Oh, sure.
Why not?
Drunk barbecuing people.
Just pull it right out.
they're not listening. They're having fun. They're enjoying their family.
Yeah, probably
and
so.
all of the freedoms that we have
but the freedoms that
we still have left,
that men gave their most valued possession up for, so
yes.
Memorial Day,
and some women,
and so our best wishes for all the families that lost throughout the
centuries.
God, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are.
Anyway.
All right. Do your thing.
So,
G.Long.
So, hey, guess what? You're listening to the Long of the Boot podcast, the only podcast coming to you from the heel of the boot of Southwest Louisiana.
It's the only one. Are you sure? Have you verified that? You better.
No, I haven't. That could be complete bullshit.
You could be lying.
And I don't know. Anyway, you know what? It's the best podcast from the heel of the boot of Southwest Louisiana.
Opinions? Yes, we got them.
I got some. Opinions.
Opinions.
Anyway, if you'd like to get a hold of
your O face,
the Long of the Boot podcast. Oh wait, I'm your host. Man, we're screwing this up bad today. Well, it's a vacation.
It's a vacation show.
It's a day off, and we're taking it.
And we're taking it.
It's Monday. We didn't do it on Sunday like we normally do, and there you go.
Yeah, because we were working in the yard. Okay, do your thing. You got to do the contact.
I'm your host.
Because I don't even know.
I'm your host, G.Long. Sitting across the way from me is Deb in the morning.
Hi, all. Or in the noon.
In the noon. Drive time. Anyway, so, and if you want to get a hold of the Long of the Boot podcast, you just, email at longandtheboot@gmail.com. Or you could give us a ringy dingy or a text at 337 502-9011. Is that right? Yeah, it sounds right. Yeah, sure.
You really should take my advice and have like a little checklist on the wall.
Sometimes it just escapes me. I don't know why.
I don't know it. So, and if something should happen to you, I've got no clue.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that could occur. Life is funny like that, or not funny, depending on your perspective, I guess.
Here, you want to hear a dad noise?
There you go.
That's probably why I couldn't remember the phone number. 502-9011 or longandtheboot@gmail.com, or go to our website and you can message us from there. You
can.
Longandtheboot.com.
Just a Facebook post.
This is a day off, Memorial Day podcast.
End of school year.
We tried to come up with a single topic, and we've
been having a hard time nailing one thing down as usual. That our listening community knows that, though. We did. We had. I have research. I actually read all my research, printed it up, highlighted it.
Coming soon, and this is exciting, kids. A Long in the Boot podcast, all about wet nursing.
The history of wet nursing. It is a long and varied roller coaster ride of we love them, we hate them, they're slutty, trashy women, or we have to have rules. But actually, feeding children is a core topic.
Yeah, weird thing. People like to feed children.
Yeah, we feed our babies.
Who knew?
And if you don't, guess what?
And if you, I don't know if you're privy to the news, but apparently there's been a shortage of baby formula.
Yes. So that was what started the discussion for the wet nurse history. Like, all right, I knew during the Civil War, I knew during slavery that was common, but how far back did it actually go? And the research.
Because I don't know if you're a biology buff, but apparently breasts also provide sustenance. Who knew? We just thought they were fun little things to enhance our
Okay,
lives.
now you're going off on the misogynistic BS, and
Yeah, but I don't mean it.
yeah,
So
I know that. That's why I'm here.
that's important.
Yes, that is important. Anybody thinks that of my G.Long, they might be mistaken, or they might not be
You are.
being ambiguous.
No, I'm aware that boobies are for other things.
All
And
right.
I'm 100% A-okay with
okay,
that.
so our community doesn't want to hear what we were going to talk about, but didn't.
Right. We'll get back to it.
Okay, we will. We'll get back to it because it is interesting,
So-
and the first time bottles, and how they handled it before bottles and formula and all that varied.
There you
Yes.
go.
Okay.
And so we decided, here we go. We're gonna just talk about general stuff, and of course, again, Memorial Day. Thank you to
All those who gave their lives while serving.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I'm not being flippant about it, but you know, everybody's got their stuff.
Okay. So, well, you have something that you need to get.
Well,
off your chest?
no. Boy, you've been talking about chest. I actually do have a chest story. Now that you say that, and it is a Louisiana story. I just don't know. Do we do it now, or do you want to talk about what's going on actually in society in the news on a more?
Well, I don't want to get too serious about.
I don't.
Happened.
I told you I did not want
I
to
don't
get
want
serious about
We don't
it.
have to talk about it much at all.
I didn't really want to,
Okay,
except
then-
that we're teachers and
Well, look,
it's heart wrenching.
here you go. I'm a teacher, and I keep seeing people. Teachers need to be armed.
No,
Stop it. It doesn't need to happen.
No.
It shouldn't happen. And I think as time goes by, again, this is all my opinion. In no way should it represent any employers or past employers or anything else. This is my opinion. I think we're going to find out that simple protocol wasn't followed. And
in that case,
yeah. And it's horrible. It's horrifying. I can't even imagine. But also remember that the very next day, millions and millions of people still sent their kids back to school. And because we understand the weirdness of an event like that.
Yes.
And as this goes further and further, I think we'll see pretty quickly that certain protocols weren't handled because we've actually been in those trainings.
Oh, absolutely.
And the number one thing, and I think even most police officers out there would agree with me, that you engage. That's the protocol. We've read it. We were handed, we were given actual documentation.
We've watched videos.
We watched videos, and everything says first law enforcement official on the scene engages the shooter. Period.
I still hadn't.
And
seen
they had
that.
training 2 months ago in Uvalde, and they would have heard and said the same thing. So, everything else is besides the point. The school had tons of windows. Saying that you were waiting for keys for a locked door is nonsense. There were plenty of ways of egress in and out of that school besides one door. And so, anyway, that's all I have to say. My heart breaks for all
everybody
those people.
involved.
And
yes,
yes, there's so many different things that need to be done, most of which will never happen.
So,
and everybody's just going to use it.
In connection to that story, we had and I have not really seen this. I just had to Google it because I haven't heard any details. It happened. This happened the other night on May 28th. Okay, so just after the next day or 2 days after the shooting, Hillary Hellwig, a 34-year-old hairdresser from Pennsylvania, actually stopped a mass shooting of a man who was, let's see, will they give me the details?
Not too much.
I'm sorry, I didn't Google this ahead of time. It just hit me when you said all that.
Oh, it reminded you of the story.
Yeah, of the story.
Or the lack of coverage
actually,
of the story?
my problem here is this is like trying to read a recipe online, which is they give me everything else. I guess they're promoting weapons. I don't know. But there we go. Maybe this one will actually just focus on her story and not everybody that stopped a shooting in the past. Woman's actions may have prevented a mass casualty event following an altercation about a man speeding through a neighborhood, right? Parties and people out in the neighborhood, and they asked him to slow down. He came back later with a
firearm,
semi-automatic weapon, yes.
Okay.
And she pulled out her handgun and killed him.
And Yeah, that's
She
great.
did not have a problem confronting him. She wasn't the first person on the scene, and she stopped that. So,
but it has, just like with the other incident, the arguments are all pointless. Yeah, you're okay. Great.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's happened.
I'm glad she stopped it.
Yes,
but if you go and look at the history of the past week, mass shootings, 4 or more victims. That's the key. That's the words.
The word mass now means 4 or more.
Mass shooting is 4 victims. And there were 13 mass shootings in the United States since Tuesday, not counting the one in Uvalde.
The one that we are all focused on, yeah.
Yes. And clearly there are many things that need to be done, but most of the things I hear people say legally will just never happen.
Oh, you mean what the government and what politicians will do?
Yes.
Oh, like more communication between
pesky Second
background
Amendment
checks and things like that.
Yeah, they may try to ban assault weapons.
I saw the Supreme Court said they want to look at Second Amendment.
The Supreme Court
do
said
away with it.
The Supreme Court said if you want to get rid of this problem of gun ownership, you have to get rid of the Second Amendment, which then requires.
Well, then why did they twist that headline?
3/4 of the states, not going to happen.
No, that won't
ever.
No.
And 2/3 or maybe be 3/4 of Congress, not going to happen.
No, that won't occur
ever.
Either. Yeah.
And so, constantly bringing that back up, it's pointless.
Unless the Chinese take.
That's
over.
an argument that just goes away into the wind.
If the Chinese take over, then the Constitution is out. So.
They got their own problems. Jesus.
Yeah.
The whole world's a mess.
I'm being silly. It's kind of
the whole world's a mess, and we're just trying to make sense of it and not doing a very good job. But all I know is
but it's
the events in Uvalde and all the other times these things have happened. They still are exceedingly rare in the United States, even more so in the rest of the world. But the rest of the world doesn't have more guns than people.
Yeah. Well, parents shouldn't have to worry about that.
But
I understand that life is dangerous, and people have always had to prepare children throughout the centuries for the dangers and the realities.
Until I hear somebody, a politician, actually admit that it doesn't matter. Mass shooting, who cares? When you've got 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 people a day getting shot, mostly in cities.
You're talking about Chicago.
Well, Chicago, New York. I just saw the violence is endemic across this country in the cities where poverty is at its greatest.
Well, then we're back to what I say, which is this is a societal,
it's a social
mental health issue.
Absolutely.
Families in distress. Can we universal health care? We need universal mental health care as well.
The very first mental health week.
Yeah, and we are making it better in that sense.
Was sponsored when Richard Nixon was vice president. He was vice president, 1950s.
Well, it
and
was his
week.
wife who came forward
Correct.
with her alcohol addiction, beginning that conversation.
My point is, we have completely dropped the ball. Mental Health Week doesn't mean anything.
America didn't even want to give full health care to its poor.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even really want to do that for fear of socialism. Yeah. Fear of socialism. If we do that, we're trying to make what? This is, you're going to have these kinds of things. People are going to act out. Why is it all these men?
Yeah.
I actually
just watching people argue about.
I saw a negative meme that was
ridiculous.
what the top 10 things wrong with America, and men, just men 10 times.
Yeah, we suck.
Yeah, men.
God, we do.
which kind of did make me angry, only in the sense that it was a man that raised me. I've raised my son. Your mother raised you. We do have good men.
But luckily, we can fix this. And how do we do it? We make men women. But we can't start as adults. We have to start young.
Oh, like in California? They're always ahead of the game in California.
The Biden administration has put out a press release that says K through 12 schools. Now, remember, we just had this incident in Texas, but we need to really focus on what's important. And a Biden administration says K through 12 schools must put boys in girls' bathrooms to get federal lunch money.
So they're tying the fact that
Now,
kids need to eat
I know
to a restroom availability for boys who identify as girls.
Okay.
I have to let my
K through 12 schools must allow boys into girls' private areas to obtain federal funds for lunches, brunches, and snacks, the Biden administration announced this month. A U.S. Department of Education spokesman told The Federalist the Biden administration's press releases from several agencies announcing this policy will be followed by formal rulemaking in June.
Oh, we love formal rulemaking.
So
we're gonna do this, but we're not gonna look at guns
or safety.
or safety.
Yeah. Oh, just lock your door. Thanks.
Okay, but I've got to let my daughter go into the gym shower with a boy who identifies as a girl. Well, they're all going to identify as a girl in high school.
Woohoo!
Probably about the age of 8. We're going to have all these boys now who now identify as girls, so they can get in the locker room. Well, that's shocking.
Under this new demand, establishments accept any federal food funding, including food stamps, must also allow males who claim to be female to access female private spaces such as showers, bathrooms, and sleeping areas. By the way, you ever notice that it's never the other way around?
Yeah.
Females demanding it?
Yes.
Such organizations must also follow protocols such as requiring staff to use inaccurate pronouns to describe transgender people. I don't give a crap about that. And allowing male staff to dress as women while on the job. Well,
so
okay.
if you showed up at school and you decided that you identified as a female, and you would be allowed to.
You know what we're going to need? We're going to need standards for that, because you're going to have guys coming in with a beard, looking like a lumberjack, dressed as a female. Identify as a woman.
Well, now you're just stereotyping.
No, I'm not. I'm using silliness to prove a point.
You're using sarcasm. You're on a slippery slope. I understand that logical fallacy.
How about you can wear what you want, provided you meet certain guidelines of cleanliness? And I don't care. If you're a man, you want to wear a dress. I don't care. But
it needs to be the appropriate length.
At what age are we talking about? High school? We're just going to let boys go into girls' shit?
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay. There are way too many factors involved in this.
Not to worry, though.
And it's ludicrous.
Not to worry. Religious institutions will qualify for a waiver. So luckily, there won't be any kind of sex happening.
No hanky-panky there.
Well, everybody knows.
Well, now we know you can't just blame the Catholics anymore. We understand that that's not just a Catholic thing.
No, if they're Catholic kids, they obviously aren't going to engage in any kind of illicit behavior in the bathroom, because Catholics don't do that, because, it upsets God. Catholics would never do such a thing.
You are on a strange road there, sir. Strange.
I find this. Don't worry, religious institutions get a pass.
There's equality.
Well, what if you identify as a religious institution?
Oh, G.Long.
I'm just asking. I have questions.
Okay, well, they're tiresome.
According to the 1972 Title IX law, religious institutions don't have to file paperwork to be exempt, although they can if they wish.
Well, either you do or you don't.
So every school now has to identify as a religious institution?
Oh, wait, you mean private schools?
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to avoid this from happening.
You've confused me now. The logic, well, there is no logic.
There is no logic.
Yeah, it eludes me again, which is pretty much our issue in society now. we're all on emotion and running on a heated, view.
Well, I just...
Can we lighten it up some?
We're going to do this to schools. We can't even get a roof. Now we're going to have transgender bathrooms.
We're working on the roof. Kids are gone now.
Can you let us get the roof done?
They can get us a roof. Hurricane season starts tomorrow. No, day after tomorrow. We got 2 days. Get us a roof. Speaking of roof and hurricane season, yeah, you like that segue? Okay. Well, climate change, right? Climate change. So we've been working on that. The world has been working on that. America has been working on that, but that's also causing issues, and that unforeseen issues, because now the NOAA study has linked a drop in pollution to an increase in hurricanes. So we've been doing our job. America itself, let's see, has dropped. Environmental efforts in the U.S. have decreased pollution by 50%, about 50%.
Okay.
That has created a much cleaner and more transparent atmosphere, allowing the sun to heat the sea surface temperatures. And
But I thought pollution was causing heat.
Well, apparently, so that is feeding into an increase in hurricane activity to about 34% increase in the total number of storms that we've been seeing in the past few decades. So when everybody says it's climate change, it is. We've been cleaning it up, and the trade-off here, it says, is having a cleaner environment helps reduce lung disease and environmental cancers. However, we're going to have more hurricanes. I guess that's going to affect a huge. The interesting thing is how they figured this out too. He said the typhoons, Asia and China, the Asia coast and the China coast have had a reduction in typhoons because they've had an increase in pollution.
Good for them.
So that made them go, hey.
Well, then we need to start putting more particulates
So we
in
need
the air.
More particulates to
Scatter
block the
sun's
sun rays,
rays.
so there's not such transparency,
Yes.
and because surface temperature of the ocean
There's
and the
no
Gulf.
winning.
Well, no, there isn't, and that's the point.
The Earth is just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and
Well,
people will
we've
just
said
learn to
weather don't
adapt.
give a fudge.
Well, yeah, that's
So-
right.
Hey, did you like that? My potty mouth, I controlled
Fudge.
it right there.
Fudge.
Now you've turned that bad. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Do you have a story you want to discuss?
I do.
Because I'm saving mine.
Although this kind of goes back to the events in Texas, but in a different way.
Oh, dear God.
No. This is about. So there's a law in Texas. Now, in Texas, you can buy as many firearms as you want. There's not really any kind of limit. I mean, you can just buy guns, and
And age is 18.
Yep,
Except
yep,
for a
yep.
handgun.
Yep, men and women both.
Handguns, though, you have to wait.
No.
Oh, I thought you had to be
No.
older for a handgun. 18 for everything?
No, 21, I think, for a handgun.
I think we
It
had
might
that.
be 18 in Texas. Who the hell
Oh,
cares?
in Texas. Okay.
And because that's not the kind of gun that hurts people.
Okay, so we need a Texan to tell us.
But here's a fun fact. You can have 5 dildos.
Texas is very strict about their sex toy industry. Yes.
You may not have more than 5 penis-shaped devices in the state of Texas because we have morals here. You want an AR-15? We got that.
Have at it.
You can have 10 if you want, but
Wow.
you better not have 6 dildos. You shall have only 5.
Only 5.
Count us not to 6,
But
nor stop us at 4.
most people.
5 is the counting of the dildos. Only 5.
Well, when you think about the number of available places for those dildos, 5? What an odd. If you
Yes.
okay, all right.
1,
my
2,
mind
3.
is rampant.
Wait a minute. My mind is abuzz with the possibilities.
So I'm thinking about the party you have to
1,
have.
2, 3,
So
4, 5.
yeah, 5. Well,
Wait, 1, 2,
okay.
3, 4, 5.
Let our audience. They can take their
5. That I guess in a way there is some science to that to that number.
No, there is no science.
I'm just saying that, but anybody, it's men or women, cannot have more than 5.
Okay. Well, good on you, Texas.
And I think it is interesting.
Protecting your citizens.
But wait, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. Texas Senator Ted Cruz was Attorney General when he made a statement about this.
Oh, he was involved in this legislation?
Yes, he took a case to the Supreme Court, in fact, to argue
about this?
that, quote,
Wow.
there is no substantive due process right to stimulate one's genitals for non-medical purposes unrelated to procreation or outside of an interpersonal relationship.
You don't have a right to masturbate with toys?
You don't have a due process right. In other words, the courts will not protect your right to masturbate.
With a implement. Or without. You can be free and do it on your own with no device or... Wow, Ted Cruz. Why is no one calling him out on that?
And one person said to that law rule about the dildos, You know, it's funny. Despite 2 adults with allergies in my home, I can only buy 1 box of 24-count Allegra D at a pharmacy at a time, and I have to show them an ID.
But I can get 5 dildos, or as many
or an
guns,
unlimited number of guns.
as many guns as I want. Wow.
So good on you, Texas.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right. Well, it just goes to show you that each state has their own little idiosyncrasies, and you know, Louisiana's no different.
And they're both, by the way, politically speaking, they're both responsible. Democrats.
Oh, both sides.
Democrats could have done
Anybody
something for
that's
years
listened
and never
to
did.
enough episodes of Long in the Boot recognizes that we just want to call out stupidity. We don't.
Yeah,
we don't give a flip.
I am not affiliated.
I am remaining unaffiliated. All right. Well, you know what? That segues perfectly into the story I saved. Let's see, May 28th. Everything was May 28th. I don't know why that was the day that I picked up everything. The day after school got out. That's what it was.
Saturday?
Yeah, school got out. So I was feeling good. We've been watching the new episodes of Kids in the Hall, which has come back.
God, they're old.
Man, they are.
Really aged. It's
I really
strange.
was just shocked. When they dug them up out of their grave, I was just like,
Whew.
good Lord, they got old.
Yeah, they sure did.
But there was a skit, and it's very topical because it was a Zoom call, a business that had a Zoom call, and one of the employees forgot to turn their camera off and began to pleasure themselves while the coworkers saw.
But the meeting we saw was the meeting after that incident.
Yes.
We were told about it.
And then things just went
horribly wrong.
Well, I gathered later that perhaps masturbation, watching somebody pleasure themselves, is like yawning, and it becomes catchy. because before the
it's like looking into the sun and sneezing.
Before the meeting was over, all of the employees were engaging, cameras on, and the manager, I guess I don't know if he was enjoying it or
he just got caught up in the action.
Yeah, he just didn't say a thing. Sat back, and so
then
that segues into the story I picked up, because comedy is about laughing at things that really happen.
Oh, reality is funny. That's
so right. There were lots of Zoom mishaps during the pandemic. People forgetting how to turn off their camera or how to turn off their mic, and they say things or do things. Well, a Sabbath service went bad after a couple began having sex on the Zoom camera. A Randy couple were in a Zoom service in Minneapolis synagogue. It was a bat mitzvah. So they were attending a bat mitzvah. It's hard to say, actually. And they forgot to turn their camera off.
It's like a bar mitzvah, but with girls.
A witness said this unfolded on May 14th in the Twin Cities. The Twin Cities. It went on for about 45 minutes. So people stuck around to know how long this goes on.
Well, yeah.
Said one person who saw the video and requested anonymity. They didn't want to be named. She was walking around naked. She got dressed. She's in and out of the Zoom. He was in the bed. He whipped it out. She started going to work. Someone on the Zoom called her and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're on camera." Which, of course,
know what sound effect I needed? when you said he whipped it out.
That is so juvenile.
I know.
So most people were not on camera except for the old boobs who don't know how to turn their camera off, and these two people. So the boxes were pretty big, and everyone could see who was on camera.
Nice.
So apparently it was a really clear, show. Best bat mitzvah I think that most people probably ever went to. I'm sure they'll remember it.
Always.
Yes. And apparently sex on Sabbath is not Sabbath, on Shabbat. Shabbat, thank you.
Shabbat.
I knew that word. Is specifically encouraged, and some consider it to be a mitzvah or a good deed. While the synagogue, have tried to keep this story quiet.
Those Jewish people.
But, they're all about the humor, too. So, they must have found humor in the situation.
We don't know.
For 45
they may have
minutes.
absolutely known.
Who, the people?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's yes, because we've talked about kinks before, and some people that's really something they enjoy. I doubt that they probably wanted the whole synagogue to.
You don't know.
No, you don't. I don't know people's heart.
You don't know.
I don't know what people have in
The
their
heart wants what the heart wants.
Yes. All right. I have another inappropriate sexually related story.
My Lord.
Or I can save it.
Well, go ahead, because we'll.
Okay, this one's.
We're not going to be on take these people's time for very long. We got things to do. It's Memorial Day.
It's Memorial Day. We've been working outside.
Yeah.
The garden and stuff. Okay. Doing what I can. So this one is Louisiana. Louisiana National Guard officer had to retire after motorboating a subordinate's breasts. I don't think she voluntarily allowed the motorboating, but it was a part of her.
Could you describe motorboating
Yes,
for our audience?
I will. It was part of her rank ceremony. She was getting
an increase in rank.
Yes. So the officer, Captain Billy Crosby Jr.
Oh, Billy Crosby.
He faced 30 days of confinement, no loss of rank.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure why he doesn't know what year this is. He's only 52. I say only 52. I assume that's part of his situation. He just doesn't understand that we've
Well, I'm assuming he's motorboated before.
I'm assuming he has, that he felt like, but she is half his age and was not. The incident happened at a joint training center in May of 2021, so it's just now getting to the military court. Crosby placed his face between the sergeant's breasts, moving them from side to side. He had previously told her, yes, that's probably the noise he made.
Or wait.
What? He had told her that he wanted her to ride with him during a trip to another military installation because he really liked looking at her chest, and announced twice to other people that he was going to motorboat her during her promotion ceremony.
Oh, so everybody knew he was going to do it.
Well, he just kept saying it, but maybe you just kind of put it aside and think, oh, that's just
Billy. I like
Billy.
to look at your chest. If you're trying to be sexy, like if you're hoping to score, would you ever use the word chest?
I don't.
You have the sexiest chest. To a woman?
Well, maybe you do a Bill or a Dave Chappelle, titties.
No,
is that better?
Titties. No.
It's just funny to hear it in Chappelle's.
Yeah, it is.
Head.
But no, you have lovely breasts. Okay, I'm there. Shakespeare would say that.
Okay, better than rack.
There are
a lot of euphemisms. Yeah,
your breasts are so pert.
I don't like.
No, I don't like that.
Fun balloons.
But chest.
No, I don't like that
chest.
Either. I don't know what I want you to. You know what? How about you just keep your mouth shut, you dirty little man? That's what you need to do. All right. So
motorboating is
wait.
out.
Here. So the story defines it for us. And if you're naive out there and you're listening to Long in the Boot,
or you want to motorboat,
according to the documents, because this is in
with
the court
permission,
court documents, the term motorboating is commonly used to describe when a person places his or her face between a female's breast. Oh, we're using gender here.
His
That's
or
wrong.
her. Oh, nice.
I've seen male breasts that could use motorboating too.
Yeah, baby.
Shakes his or her head back and forth while making a sound resembling a boat motor. Now you can do it. Okay. A day or so later, Sergeant Crosby went into the room where the sergeant was working with another person, performed an impromptu ceremony in which he placed his face between her breasts. He told her to stand up. He placed the rank in front of her chest and then leaned in and grabbed it with his teeth. He then placed his face between her breasts. His face made contact with the middle of her chest, the cleavage. And then he vigorously moved his head from side to side while still holding the rank in his teeth.
Was she wearing civilian garb?
I have no idea.
Or was she like a sexy army chick? Why would her buttons be undone to where he could actually get to her chest?
Well, I don't know that the buttons were undone, and I don't know if
how would
she
he
was
touch
in
her bare
fatigues.
skin then?
It doesn't say bare skin.
It
does not say that.
Maybe she's wearing a T-shirt.
I do have a lot of questions. This story did bother me. I've read it several times. There is a lovely picture of Captain Billy Crosby Jr. It's the internet, baby. You can find that anywhere. and be careful because they may be transgender boobs.
Who knows?
And you don't know anymore.
I don't even care. I don't care.
Keep them out of my daughter's locker room, though.
Yeah, well, my daughter's of age now. So,
Scarlett can do what
you young people with young kids, yon.
Yeah, I do not envy people who have children.
I think it's just weird
growing up.
You know what? Just have individual bathrooms and put an end to it. Bathrooms, occupied, not occupied.
Oh,
individual,
like
at
a family bathroom.
Like at the bathrooms that have a bank of bathrooms. Have like 10 bathrooms.
Well, even at Buc-ee's, it's men and women, but you could. But see, in that
that's
case,
our own.
No. In that case, you'd need to have somebody standing guard. You need a bathroom attendant again. There's a job that's coming back.
Hey,
bathroom attendant.
Exit strategy.
I gotcha. And then they can make them wash their damn hands, dirty little buggers.
They can give them a spritz of cologne.
And they can get some. No.
Remember, we went into a couple places in Europe where the guy would give you like a spritz of cologne for a euro.
Yeah, you'd give them a little
and
something.
They'd spray you with something. God knows what.
We've been watching Mission Impossible. It's probably some kind of deadly chimera chemical that's going to... Chimera. Kill you.
All right. You might say to yourself, gosh, with all the problems the world is facing today...
Why are they talking about frivolous crap?
Yeah, we need to buckle down with the important stuff. And you know what? The Louisiana Senate.
Oh, what did they do?
Oh, man. If you've been sitting around wondering why you can't catch a catfish by sticking your hand down its throat, it's because it was against the law. But no more, kids.
Oh.
The Louisiana Senate has passed a bill to allow catfish noodling.
I knew that term. I couldn't remember it.
And that means you can wrestle catfish out the water with your bare hands. Now, first of all...
How did the catfish feel about that?
A catfish we reached for comments said, That was too easy.
I was going to say something that was really inappropriate. But.
Weirdly enough, that's a punchline to another joke, too.
As a woman, I say here that I think that catfish noodling is
weird.
Not okay.
It's weird. No, I don't care how you catch a catfish. If you're going to eat it. Now, if you're just catching it to piss it off, I have a problem with that. But...
Shove your hand down his throat and then throw him back?
It's weird.
You would rather him...
People stick their hands in sunken logs, barrels, broken up pieces of concrete, looking for a catfish. I'm thinking, you don't know what's in there.
Oh, no. You're being risky when that's a high risk behavior. Absolutely. Especially in Louisiana.
To me, that seems like high risk, low reward for something you can get anyway with like a catfish trap.
I don't know. You know me. I don't eat seafood, so it's not happening.
Good point.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, it's been returned back to the House without amendments, so it's ready to go to John Bell Edwards, and all he's got to do is sign it. And
I'm sure he was.
You will be able to catch catfish with your bare hands in Louisiana as God intended.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that they are able to fix these kind of situations. They can't take care of the real things, but they can handle this.
That's right.
That's what our legislators are doing.
Gas prices? Oh. Food prices? Beats me.
Putin.
But you know what? If you want to go catch a catfish with your bare hands and eat it, yeah, you can do it now.
Freedom. That's what America's about.
God bless the USA.
Lee Greenwood does it a little better, I think.
I think he probably does, but
he's made a career.
He's practiced.
He's made a career on that.
He built an entire career on one song.
Wait. It was after 9/11. Is that when he wrote that? Or was it before? Was there another major event?
I think it's been around longer than that.
Well, Google this. Google.
Oh, come on.
Well, I want to know when Lee Greenwood did it because I want to... There was a major event, and he did it for a major event, but was it 9/11, or did he do it prior to that, and we just adopted it for 9/11?
Well, I'm gonna say we adopted it
back when we were shocked and surprised by these, kinds of large mass casualty events.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Well, there was a time when we were more innocent as a country.
Well, it says 2007 here, but that's not right.
No, that's not right either. No, it's been around longer than that.
And oh my God, it won't tell me.
See, it's just like the story I was trying to find on the woman who stopped the mass shooter. But that doesn't fit the narrative, so the media really...
There we go. Released May 21st, 1984.
Wow. Okay, so what event occurred? I wonder what was going on. What happened in 84? You and I were young.
Let's see. God Bless the USA, also known as Proud to Be an American.
Yeah, it came out after.
Patriotic song written by Lee Greenwood, is considered to be his signature song. Yeah, name another one.
Okay.
The first album, the name of the album, You've Got a Good Love Coming.
Is that? Okay.
That's the name of the album.
Okay.
And it's got a big American flag with 1 star.
But he wrote the song.
Reached number 7.
Number 7
was played at the 1984 Republican National Convention with President Ronald Reagan and First Lady Nancy Reagan in attendance. But the song gained greater prominence during the Gulf War in 1990 and 91 as a way of boosting American morale.
So it was a political song first. He wrote it for that, and then it became...
So then he re-recorded it in 1992 for his album called American Patriot.
Oh, so he recognized what he had at that point. Yeah.
The popularity of the song rose again after the September 11th attacks, and then again during our 2003 invasion of Iraq. Yay.
Oh, well, we know how that went.
The song was then re-released as a single, re-entering the country music charts at number 16 and peaking at number 16.
He just never got it to 1. That's crazy. He's like Walt Whitman. Just keep redoing your Leaves of Grass. And
Lee Greenwood then re-recorded the song in 2003 and released an album called God Bless the USA.
So he really only had patriotism at heart.
Now, here's the best part. The song has sold over 1 million copies.
That's it? Since 1984. Wow.
You know why? Because people don't just go and play God Bless the USA. There'll be people that say they do.
Well,
I play that song every day.
Well, like I said, I attribute it to major mass casualty type events or places where you would feel like you should be proud to be an American. And I guess those have become fewer and more difficult to...
And apparently there have been a bunch of other people that have done this song now, of course. Dolly Parton did it. There's a Canadian version, which I think is weird.
Man, talk about motorboating.
Beyonce did a version.
We're Dolly first.
Oh, Dolly Parton motorboating?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
sacrilege.
That's a much bigger boat.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there, folks.
Motor yachting. Pontoon boating.
No, we love Dolly. Stop that.
Yeah,
we're patriotic people. So all our families have served in the militaries.
Yes, and are still doing so, but hopefully never having to make that the ultimate.
Yeah,
I don't want everyone to have to remember them on Memorial Day.
No,
if you know what I mean.
And my son better never think that it would be appropriate to be a Captain Billy.
And then yeah. And finally, I'm gonna last headline because I don't understand.
Oh,
it's a KLFY Lafayette headline, big headline. Louisiana man dies while driving in Kansas.
Is it big? I have questions. Is it because it's Kansas?
Russell County, Kansas. A man from Louisiana died while driving in Kansas on Saturday, May 28th.
That was their first sentence?
According to the Kansas Highway Patrol, 20-year-old Aaron Bostwick of Bastrop, Louisiana, was driving westbound on Interstate 70. He lost control of his car, causing him to cross the median and got hit by a semi.
So
he died. That's the story. It's like,
that's a strange report. Did it tickle you?
Well, I just think it's kind of weird that on a news channel that would be.
Well, maybe they just didn't have it. It wasn't a strong news day.
I guess.
Like what was it? April 12th or 13th, 1952 or 54 was the calmest day in the world for news. I mean, I saw it as a Jeopardy question the other day, but I had actually Googled that a while back. And the day in the media where nothing happened was like April 13th, 1954, I think was the day.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. The easiest news. And so I guess they felt like they needed to beef it up.
I got a man who was arrested and charged with felony for throwing hot chili on someone.
A felony?
Felony.
How hot was the
It must have
chili?
been some
Wait,
pretty
is
hot
it
chili.
temperature hot or
Both? I'm
spice
assuming.
hot?
I don't know.
Did it get in his eyes?
Took it out of the microwave and threw it at him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they lived together or they worked together.
Let's see.
Was that an office rage kind of thing?
Actually, this was an office rage.
Yes, I understand.
The affidavit said that Armstrong poked the victim in the face, then took a hot bowl of chili out of the microwave and threw it on the victim.
Yeah.
And then fled the scene.
Oh, he left. He knew he had done wrong.
Oh, God.
I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble. Hot chili.
Low impulse control.
Well, I'm sure he'll get plenty of chili in prison.
And you see what low impulse control leads to?
I don't know what that means.
A news story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there
All
you go. I think we should go and do Memorial Day stuff.
I think so. You're going to barbecue for me?
I am.
That is tradition.
I'm going to burn animal flesh.
We are mostly non-traditional people, but occasionally we follow tradition.
You know how it is.
And we're proud Americans.
Proud to be
Please
an
don't do that.
American,
Please
where
don't do
at
that.
least I know I'm free.
Mostly.
Kind of.
Sort of, most of the time.
Mostly free.
Until the Louisiana legislature does some other
Oh,
stupid
by the
crap.
way, hey, June 1st, if you want to go, walk around in a Louisiana wildlife refuge,
Oh,
you better get a license.
you got to pay.
That's right. You need to pay $20 a year to be able to walk around in nature.
Look at the birds.
Yeah, $20 a year. Maybe they'll use that money to rebuild all the parks. That would be the way to do it.
Well, I assume that's what they're trying to do.
But if you want to go take pictures of birds in the wildlife refuge at the Sabine Wildlife
You
Refuge,
have to have a license.
get yourself a license. June 1st.
So not just to hunt or fish now. You actually,
That's a separate license.
That's you've got to do that in addition.
Yes.
So the walk around
For
$20
people,
a
for
year.
people not killing God's creatures, it's $20 a year. For anybody who wants to kill one of God's creatures, it's going to cost more, depending on if it's an aquatic creature or a creature that walks on land. Because I don't believe your basic fishing license would cover shooting your basic deer.
No, you have to. I think there's.
It's hard to make the argument that a deer is a fish.
Well, give America some time.
They just need gills. We can do
We've
it.
been arguing that men can have babies.
Man,
so
technology can do anything.
If we can argue that men can have babies, I don't know where this ends.
I don't know why they haven't incorporated men to help
Because-
with the breast milk shortage or the formula shortage. I mean,
Well, you got nipples. You can. I saw that show. I've got nipples. Can you milk me?
if it's got nipples, you can milk it.
That's it.
I got nipples. Can you milk me? Given time.
Wow. All right, community. Memorial Day 2022.
Woo!
End of the school year.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the end of the school year.
You know what? I don't.
It's done.
It's done. I don't have anything to say about 2021-22.
I'm looking forward to a brand new roof.
I'm looking forward to being back in my classroom 2 years out from the hurricanes.
I'm looking forward to being in my classroom 2 years out from not being in my classroom anymore.
Not a pod where bullets would pierce without hesitation.
Man.
Yeah, no.
By the way,
I don't even want to think about it.
You people out there who say the schools need to be more secure, you have no idea what that would cost on some of these campuses.
Oh, I know. Well, Biden said he would just tear down the school and build
That
them a
one.
new one.
But I'm
he
talking
didn't
about
build anybody else a new
I'm
school.
talking about making schools across this country.
Oh, prisons?
Thousands upon thousands
Yeah.
of schools. How do you do it? Short of chain linking them in and just
They'd turn into prisons.
well, that's what people want.
People are upset. How did the door get unlocked? Well, schools
Here's
are
my
active
thought.
places.
If we
We
have to
go
put-
in and out.
If we have to put 10-foot security chain fencing around schools, let's go all the way and make them Faraday cages so their cell phones don't work anymore.
Oh, that would make my day amazing.
Then we could actually get some educating
But that's
done.
their that's a defense for cell phones. Look how many 911 calls came from those children begging for help for 45 minutes.
Did it work? Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note,
I know. I'm sorry I did not want to leave our community in a negative thought pattern.
we shouldn't be negative.
We have to find balance.
We have to find balance, and there's solutions to a lot of this. But I'm telling you now,
But not
it
one.
is social. It is social and mental health.
It's not
And
one thing.
Social media and mental health are becoming more and more intertwined.
Yes.
And we're going to see worse things because of social media.
Well, and because of the pandemic.
And I don't mean
shutdown.
social media just podcasting or talking on Facebook. I'm talking about these groups out there that live
Hate
on
groups.
providing poison to people's brains.
People who are in their homes locked in, sometimes having social issues anyway.
People who are loners, who have no friends, they exist. We all know it. And the fact is, that's what it's over and over again. You never see a story where a guy who had lots of friends and was really well liked by everybody
who
goes
just
on a
went off.
rampage.
Yeah, very
Never
seldom.
happens.
No. All right. Well,
And juveniles, we need to start keeping better track of juveniles who have major mental problems before we release them onto society.
Well, yeah, if we're going to charge them as adults, we don't need to hide their
If
records.
you can charge a juvenile as an adult, then we need to also be able to let the police know when a juvenile has been treated for mental illness.
Or reported in some way.
Yes.
Basically, let's help everybody. I know it sounds socialistic to want to help your neighbors.
Well, somebody who's 15 or 16, throwing them into a juvenile facility, a jail,
does not
without any treatment, you're not helping.
No, that doesn't help either.
Doesn't
All right.
help.
It's a complex set of situations. One thing's not going to help.
Sorry
lot
about
of
that.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're done talking about the bad. We're going to talk about the good. Hey, Black Keys have a new album coming out.
Really?
They do. I'm very
All right.
excited.
And The Boys is coming
And they're
back.
going to be in Houston in October on the 15th.
I can't afford tickets or going to Houston.
I went and looked for the tickets at the Woodlands, and average seats for a pair, $350.
Each?
No, total.
For the two of us.
$350.
That's how much it'll cost us in gas to come and go. Just like double that.
I can't. I
What?
just can't pay that kind of money to see a live show.
To see it. No.
That's insane.
Welcome to 2022.
And it's not on an order of magnitude with inflation, you know. I mean, I saw Rush for $7, you know.
All right, Boomer.
No, but what I'm saying is, from that time,
I know. My concerts were cheaper too.
From that time,
Yeah,
inflation should not made a $7 ticket into a $150 ticket. That's crazy. All right, so
complex situations.
that's it. We're gonna go Memorial Day now.
All right, your joy is portable. Bring it with you and barbecue the crap out of it.
Burn some flesh.
Have fun, people.
Take care.